you did electronics, then you did project management, now you went into analytics. People are so focused on the branding and the ranking of the university, especially the ranking are decided by these some random magazines that you. So like I don't know how they came up with the ranking.
There was a question when he asked that what is your family income, and she said 20 crores, and the visa officer was like, you are approved, you can get a room between 600 to 800.
That is a lot. Now like you're living this American life. Did you have big boss drama?
For this position the salary range was $6,900.
Would you say that everybody ends up getting an on-campus job? 50 lakhs that you spent, do you feel like the ROI in your case, like you have recovered that money? Before we dive into all the strategies and stories that we're going to discuss in this podcast, let me ask you this. Do you have a clear job hunting strategy to get an internship or a full-time job? Most people don't, and it's costing them opportunities. I've helped over 1100 students with their strategies through my ultimate job hunting course.
And trust me, I'm not even kidding. I could see so many recruiters viewing my profile.
And it's been the best investment I've ever made.
The content is incredibly practical, filled with tips and strategies that make you stand out to recruiters.
It was one of the best courses that I have done till date.
This course covers everything that you need to stand out. You will get ultimate resume course, you will get ultimate LinkedIn course, networking strategy, access to 1100 plus job seekers for support, and personal support from me through WhatsApp group. I will walk you through every single step that you need with real examples and the tools that will give you an edge. I don't want you to miss any other opportunity to land your next job or an internship. So check the link in the description. And now I will let you enjoy the podcast. Thank you, Ashish, and welcome back. This is our podcast too. For people who haven't seen podcast one, should go and watch it. It was super fun. And today we are going to talk about like Rutgers and in depth, like if people should go to it, what was your experience like, what was your journey like. So before we get into that, let's do like a quick intro. Where are you from, what you do right now, what did you do in United States?
Yeah, so hi Yudi, so thank you so much for inviting me again. So I'll give you my introduction. So I I'm currently working full time, so I'll just start backwards. In India, I stay in Mumbai, so I did my engineering from there, and I worked for some years, and then I decided to do my masters. I came to the US, which is Rutgers Business School over here, and I decided to do my masters in information technology and analytics. And then after my masters, now I'm working in the same domain in Mont Blanc as a data analyst.
Since you talked about profile, what is your profile like? How many, what was your GPA in bachelor's, and then how many years of experience, and then GRE TOEFL, if you gave that, like what was that?
Correct. So I did my profile in bachelor's was electronics and telecommunications, so it is a different one.
Nice.
Then
Yeah.
I did a job in project management domain, and that was for 3 years in India. Then I started researching and I decided that I need to do the masters now. So my master's course was information technology and analytics. But before that, as you asked that, how was GRE and everything? So related to GRE, and I gave TOEFL and I gave GRE. So
Mm.
my score in GRE was 302,
Mm.
and in TOEFL it was 93 out of
Nice.
120. Right.
Got it. Got it. And so I want to ask you few questions about the course, but before I do that, how many universities do you remember like applying to, and then what was the admits and rejects?
Correct. So I applied to 8 universities, and from those, my admits were around 4 or 5. I don't remember if it's
Mm.
4 or 5, but it was, I think so, 5. But yeah, I applied to 8 universities, and yeah, so I got accepted by 5.
Nice. What were those? Do you remember?
So the one in which I studied, Rutgers, then the one was Syracuse, then there was Northern Illinois University.
Mm.
I also had one from California, which was San Diego, SDSU, San Diego State University.
Okay.
Then I applied for Oklahoma State University,
Hmm. Interesting.
and there was one more. I also applied for over here, which was Pace University, but it was like my very last preference.
Of course, you probably thought through which university you want to apply to and why you want to apply to. When did you, like, from application timeline perspective, when did you started? So you came in fall 2021, I think.
Yes, correct.
So so for fall 2021, when, how far back did you start the whole application process?
So when it comes to my application process, I think that I started a bit late, but if students are doing it and if they already want to come to masters, they should start it early, because it is never gonna put you in a, it's not a disadvantage, it's a advantage only. I
Hmm.
started it in September.
Okay.
So yeah, so I
September, matlab year before, right? Like you
year
came in
before.
August and you
Exactly.
started September a year before.
Yes.
How did you shortlisted these universities? Like, these are the universities I want to go, because obviously you did electronics, then you did project management, now
Yep.
you went into analytics. So, like, yeah, how did you one shortlisted and picked these universities?
So yeah, so as I was doing my project management, I was sure that I don't means I had that in my mind that I do not want to do masters in electronics and telecommunication, which was my previous background. So I was sure of that. So I
Yeah.
left it back, and now I started to explore that option. So I was in project management, and I was thinking that what can means with project management plus what I can do more. So I thought that analytics, machine learning, and all of these domains were like they were booming at that time, and
Hmm.
it was like it sounded very interesting how the courses would be and how the working in the companies, what work they usually do. So that got attention, and that is the reason I decided that I'm going to do this. On the
Hmm.
other hand, obviously how I selected my universities, there were like 2 3 criterias which I kept. My first criteria basically was budget.
Hmm.
So in my case it was budget. It is different for different student, right?
Yeah.
But my first criteria was budget, and I think so my budget uh limit or something like that was 40 to 50 lakhs.
Okay.
40, or means if it is a good university then 50 will do.
Yeah,
But
yeah. So it's like 40 is great, but if I have to extend it, I'll extend it till 50 lakhs.
correct, correct.
Yeah.
And so around that, so that was my first criteria. So now, for example, as I told you, I wanted something which was related to a combination of project management, analytics, IT, and machine learning. So I
Hmm.
started doing research of, so firstly, in my budget, okay, these are the universities. Now, in this,
And so how can you talk about how? So you said these are the universities. So, like, what would you like? Where would you find this?
so basically I had some of my friends
Okay.
working over here. I used to be in constant touch with them always, right? And plus they told me that you can, so there is one application which is Yocket in India. Over
Hmm.
there also you come to know that where there are various universities. And at the end, as I was working, I also took some help from a counselor in India who helped me. That means I went to him with my request that this is all of that, and he was just guided me that okay, you can, these universities sound good for you, something like that.
So
Yeah,
first criteria was budget. Second criteria was that it needs to teach you what you want to do in the career. And then what
correct.
was the third criteria?
So the third criteria was obviously the area in which I'm going to stay, right?
Location.
So
Okay.
location, right? Because now it depends on many factors. So first criteria I have explained. Second criteria was like I used to go on every university's website, and
Hmm.
that particular course which is there means which I am going to take. So I used to go inside that course, and it has a detailed explanation, right? That these are the courses which will be given in this masters. What are they going to teach? For example,
Hmm.
I had one. So, for example, the subject is business data management. what is business data management? So in business, exactly, right? The names are so
Yeah,
fascinating that
yeah,
it's like, oh
fascinated
my
and
god,
vague, right? Like it's so vague, like you
vague,
don't know exactly what
right?
you will be learning. Yeah.
Exactly. So and then they give the description that okay, this professor will train you, or the entire coursework will be focused on SQL, managing the databases, or something like
Hmm.
that. So that's how I saw every course in each university. And then I was shortlisting one by one that, okay, this course has a combination of, you know, all
Hmm.
what I need. So I'm going
Hmm.
to go ahead with it.
Okay, got it. In terms of process, I'm assuming that this is pretty much same for all the universities that you applied. But let me know if it is different. LORs, you probably had to do some letter of recommendations. You had to do SOPs, which is statement of
Yes.
purpose, and then the transcript and all of that. Anything else that you had to do, like in video interviews or anything like that, or no?
No, in my purpose, it was all the same. So
Hmm.
LORs from two, three of my professors and one SOP for every university.
Hmm. And so you narrowed it down to these eight universities. You got admits from five. You
Correct.
chose Rutgers over all the other ones. Why Rutgers?
So now again, in all of my universities, which I had a list, two universities were like, they were like only focusing on technical aspects,
Hmm.
right? So it was highly means it was like 90% of the coursework would be on the technical aspects, like only SQL, machine learning, and everything. So they weren't giving me the exposure to learn some analytics, or
Hmm.
learn some project management or something like that. But
Hmm.
this course means in Rutgers, it had all these means combination. So basically, I was able to do project management. Then we had ML subjects or courses, which people say over here, and also the whatever is needed in analytics,
Hmm. Hmm.
right? So that is the reason I selected Rutgers, because it was meeting all my criteria. So from a student's perspective, it will always depend. Now one student is like, they are technically very strong, and they want to be in that technical job domain only in the future. So they might take the course which is like heavily technical and not on the management side or something like that, right? But I
Hmm.
wanted some combination and some diversity in my course, so that is the reason I selected Rutgers.
Hmm. Hey, before we move on to the next part of the video, I want to quickly talk about our newsletter community, which you can be part of absolutely free. We are now going strong and we have more than 40,000 people in our newsletter community. So imagine 40,000 people are receiving my newsletter every single week, twice a week, where I break down all of the stories that we did and make it a valuable resource for you. So if you're someone who doesn't have time to watch this and you just want to get an email with all of the resources into an email, that is the place to be. I'll put the link in the description. I'll give you some example. This is the one for Tanvi, where how she got 2 co-ops and she paid off her entire master's fees. This is an example of Maya, where she got 3 co-ops and she paid off her fees plus a little bit of savings. Here is an example of Sahil, who got his green card in 3 years. Here is an example where we shared bunch of resources on job hunting. So I promise this is going to be valuable resource for you, and it doesn't cost you anything. If you want to be part of our newsletter community, link will be in the description, or you can go to link.udj.com/newsletter. This is the URL. And now I'll let you enjoy the video. What's your opinion on, now that you have completed the masters and you're working full time? Like, does the brand of the university matter in getting the job?
For me, I would say no.
Yeah, I
Again,
love
means,
it. I
uh,
mean, the reason I'm asking is because people are so focused on the branding and the ranking of
no.
the university,
Yeah, yeah.
especially the ranking are decided by these some random magazines, that US
Correct.
Quest and all of that.
Yes.
So like, I don't know how they came up with the ranking. Especially, it's not even for masters, it's just overall ranking with football game and all of that, right? So
Correct.
regardless, my point was, they're just so focused on branding. So I you answer it, that in the job hunting phase nobody asks like, oh, you are from Rutgers, I'm going to give you an admission.
Correct.
Sorry, I'm
And
going to give you a full-time job. Yeah.
true, true, true. And as you said, it clicked me because when I was doing my research on selecting the universities when I was in India, I was always searching for the colleges, and then there was like, okay, so this college or whatever it is, this has 17th rank in the United States,
Yeah.
43rd rank in the United States, and I was like, oh, this is 43rd rank. How should I apply to this? So but then when you come to the US, you understand that these ranks doesn't really matter. Those
Yeah.
magazines or everything, you don't even know if it is a means, if anyone is giving some money to give their ranking in that magazine.
100%.
That is
Yeah.
how it
Yeah.
works in this
Yeah.
for the universities. So
Yeah.
that's why. But yeah, I would say that friends from my college, they have gotten Amazon. My and these are not the higher brands. Obviously, I would say Ivy Leagues are good colleges. I would
Hmm.
not say that Ivy Leagues are good, but yeah,
Yeah.
brand doesn't matter.
Yeah, no. And I mean, if someone just does the like LinkedIn search on Rutgers, you will see people from Google, Amazon, and like all
Exactly.
these different big companies as well. So
Correct.
it's yeah. So anyway, um, let's talk about I-20, because cost was definitely your thing. So what was the total fees? Like, what was your I-20 amount?
So my entire, if you're coming to Rutgers, it would take 50 lakhs, which
Hmm.
is like 40 to 42 lakhs of your tuition fees for all the semesters, and the pending 8 lakhs to 10 lakhs would be the stay which you are doing in the US. So yeah,
So 8 to 10 lakhs is the cost of living.
cost of living, yes, 8 to 10
Okay.
lakhs is the cost of living, and the rest would be your tuition, means the university fees which you would pay each semester,
Hmm.
you know. S- so something like that.
Got it. Okay. So now you got the Rutgers, you decided I'm going to go with it. It fits in my budget, a little extended in your budget, but you made it through. You go for a visa interview. What happened in the visa interview? Like they were like, "Oh, Rutgers, like congratulations," or did they grill you, or like was it an insist, like what
So when
happened?
visa interview was like, people are talking so much about the visa interview that discussion makes you nervous even before
Yeah.
going over there,
Yeah.
and there are many telegram groups which in which there are students, and whichever student gives the interview, he puts his experience, these were the
Right.
questions, this that. So I already knew. Someone said that in the Bandra office, the visa office, if there is a bald guy,
Oh yeah, the Chinese guy. Then he rejects
yes, he's going to
everybody.
reject
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
Right.
And like every time people, once they clear their interview, they all of a sudden become the consultant. They're like, "This is how you
Exactly.
should answer. This is how." they think.
Exactly. So means correct. So mean that it is like everyone gives you their advices, but it is like when I went to my visa officer, I'll tell you my experience. I'll also tell you what happened before me. Right.
Mm,
There was a
mm.
girl who was daughter of some businessman, and why? Because it was very close. I was just
Yeah, yeah,
standing
yeah,
behind her,
yeah.
and you
You
can.
could hear. Yeah.
And there was a question when he asked that, how much does your what is your family income, and
Mm.
she said 20 crores, and the visa officer was like, you are approved. And so it was her last question or something like that, and I got scared because I was like, oh
It's
my
like
god,
I don't
this
have 20 crores. Yeah,
exactly. And the same question is going to come for me.
yeah,
So what is going to happen? So I was under that, the questions were in my mind, but I was fully prepared with all of my documents and all of my answers. I
yeah.
went over there, and he saw my uh, I-20, and he said, oh, it's Rutgers, New Jersey, you're going to New Jersey, the State University of New Jersey. So I was like, yeah. And then he gave me a smile. So I did not understand why, but the question started. There were 3 4 questions that, okay, so I had 3 sponsors in my case. So they
Yeah.
asked, like, okay, you have 3 sponsors, so tell us what they do and how much
Oh.
do, yeah. So what they do and what is their annual income. So he was just checking it up.
Hmm.
So he did that, and he asked me about the course. Then he asked me why you selected New Jersey and why this college. So give me some explanation. I gave him the answer that it fits in my and whatever I want to do. He asked me that means at the end he asked me two three questions more. There was one question wherein he said that are you going to stay in the US forever after you get the job?
Oh
So
wow, he directly asked you that. Okay.
yes. So there was a question saying that, so what are your future plans? Means after masters, will you get a job and stay there forever or something like that? And so it means I was prepared for that question as well. So my answer was like, I will do my masters. If I get a job, I'll just do some experience of some years and I'm going to come back to India because I want to, uh, I see my future here because my parents stay here, something like that. And then at the end he told me that, you know what, New Jersey is my favorite place. And so I was like, oh, now I know why he was smiling. So
Right.
New Jersey was his favorite state and that particular place, New Brunswick and everything. So I think so
Hmm.
it was one of his favorite place. So that's what happened with me.
So you, the D days there, you're flying, the airport security, all of this is done. Now let's talk about your flight. So where do you land? Like, do you just do Newark? Like, okay,
Yes.
so yeah, Mumbai to where? Like, what's the airport that you land
So
for
the airport which
Rutgers?
you land is EWR, which is Newark Airport. So it is called
Yeah.
Liberty International Airport, right?
Hmm.
And it depends now. Rutgers has two campus. One is in New Brunswick and one is in Newark. My
Hmm.
my my campus was in Newark. So if you're landing in EWR, it is like just 20 minutes by cab from there,
Okay. So
right?
I'm gonna pull up just a minute. I'm gonna pull up this because I like showing people
Yes.
visuals of this. So here we go. This is this is Brunswick, and this is where the airport is. So you land here. This is the this is where the skyline of New York is.
Yes. Yes.
And so you said there's one in this Brunswick, and then another one is where just New York, Newark.
Newark,
There,
yeah. And correct.
there we
Yes.
go. Oh, it's only 4 minutes. I guess
Yeah.
I should do EWR.
EWR, yeah. It would be around, I think so, 20 minutes or something like that.
Yeah, right. Okay. So got it. And so in your case, how did you manage to get from the airport to the
Correct.
apartments? Yeah.
Right. So that is like a very important question which you asked because you are new over here. So I had my roommate as well in my flight.
Hmm.
But then too, if you are alone as well, because I did not had have the credit card or debit card, so that you
Hmm.
can book a Uber or something like that. But if you're coming to the airport, you on that first day it's okay. There are always yellow taxis which are available at the airport. And
Yeah.
if you think that it is going to be a hassle because you already have so much of your luggage, so just go. I just went to that uh, means the desk over there, and they booked a cab for me and they dropped me home.
Hmm. Do you know how much does it cost?
Yeah, so it costed me, so as you're taking the yellow taxi it would cost you more than the Uber,
Of course.
right?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
obviously they are doing it on the spot. So it costed me around $30, 30
Okay.
or
Not bad.
$35.
So I'm assuming,
Not bad.
did you do you and your roommate both?
Correct. So we were two people, so we did it together, right?
Hmm.
And yeah, but also one more instance that when I means when the cab driver dropped us, he was expecting a tip,
Oh, right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Correct. That
So
is a yellow taxi thing. Yeah.
yellow taxi thing. So I gave him $35 and he was standing like this. And so I was like, what means I did not answer anything, but I was waiting that if he's going to say anything. And he was like, where is my tip, sir? And so we gave him the tip as well. So even,
What?
it is
What? How
fresh
much?
in my heart.
How much did you give? You
So
remember?
on the first day, literally our discussions was like, when he said, "Where is my tip?" I was looking at my friend and I was like, "Means how much should we give?"
Yeah, you're like, कितना देना है बे?
Means, right. And then my friend was like, I think so $2, I think so $3. And I did not have any change, so I gave him $5. I had means the least I had was $5. So I
Correct.
gave him $5.
Yeah, I think the typical tip, US has a very big tip
Yes.
culture, even in the restaurants. And in fact, in the some restaurants, they will add the tip in
Add
your bill. So that is
correct. So the tip is
and
already added.
yeah, and even when they have the option of paying like that through the tablet, it starts with 10, 15, and 18%, and sometimes I've seen 15, 18, and 22%.
True, true.
So yeah,
Yeah.
so I think you did like roughly 15%, which is good, like
Yeah.
so that's nice. Cool. You said you were with your roommate. I have two questions. First, did you book your apartment before going,
Yes.
or did you book after going? I mean,
No.
looks like you did
So I booked
before.
the apartment before going. So what I did was I searched for the roommates in India itself. Even though we didn't meet, we
Hmm.
did some video calls. We tried to understand each other. So my roommates were fixed, which were four boys, right? And then in India itself, we decided that we are going to search for apartments and whatever means, however it works. And by one of my friend, he had his means uh sibling over here staying over here, so so he used to contact them, and that's how and we used to also look up in the apartments.com. There is a
Yeah.
website named apartments.com. Sulekha is one website. Facebook Marketplace. So
Hmm.
these are the three things
But
where
be aware of Facebook Marketplace. There's a lot of scams.
there are a lot of scams. Yes.
Yeah.
So in all of these websites, be aware of the scams. If the people are asking you money straightforward without even getting on a call or getting on a video call, then it is a scam for
Yeah.
sure,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? So we used to check different apartments every day. Should we select this? Should we select that? And then that's how we selected the apartment, and we paid some, you know, they asked us for some deposit or something like that.
So in California, I recently learned the whole real estate is so different from East Coast and West Coast. In West Coast or in California, it's very much governed by apartment manager, because there's a like it's like a
Correct.
society. There is an apartment manager. You talk to them and then you get access to the apartment.
Right.
In East Coast, it's very much dependent on brokers, because
Right.
brokers have the thing, they can list an apartment, etc. And most people also prefer houses over the apartment. I mean, I guess there's more houses than apartments.
Yes.
So how, in your case, was it an apartment complex or was it an house?
No, so in my case also, as you said, it was houses. So
Mm.
basically, in my locality or wherever the students from Rutgers are staying, they prefer houses more because because you get your roommates, right? You get multiple rooms in that houses, and that's how you can stay. So
Mm.
yeah. So it was a house, and we contacted the owner and everything, and so that's how it went ahead. But yeah,
Mm.
there are brokers, as you said as well. So like in East Coast, there is like always the listing will have a property broker or something like that, which will be given, the contact would be given for that. So you need to contact them, and then you need to ask all your questions, and then you need to confirm it.
Mm. Did you, I mean, obviously the sibling probably helped with the, is the
Yes.
area good or not, and all of that, or did you consult seniors that is this area safe or not, kind of thing?
Yes, so I consulted my seniors, and also my roommate's sibling also helped us. So in my case, I would say if you're coming in Newark area, your housing should be not means obviously students stay in Newark as well, but majority of the students stay in the Harrison and the Kearney County.
Oh, right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Yes,
remember.
so
I
it's
went to
just
Stevens, so and
correct.
then that's how I remember this. Okay, yeah, yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. So it's Harrison or Kearney or even Jersey City, like Journal Square or something like that. Some students used to come from there as well. So these are safe places. So yeah, Harrison is
Yeah.
like, and if a student is coming in Harrison, which is like majority of the students of university used to stay here, it is pretty safe.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Journal Square is obviously mini India. For those of you who
Yes.
don't know,
Yes. Journal Square is mini India. It has Indian Street.
yeah, it has Indian treat the Navratri Ganpati festivals. Like it's crazy. I was like so jealous when I went first time. I was like, what is going on?
Correct.
Uh,
You will never feel, means once you go on that street, you will feel that, oh, means you
yeah,
won't feel that you are in the US.
US. Yeah, yeah, 100%. Okay, so in your case, you got the apartment through broker. Did you have to pay the broker fees as well?
No, I didn't have to pay the broker fees because of the help which I got,
Hmm.
from my roommate's sibling. But in many cases, you have to pay the broker fees.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Got it. So, what's the typical rent for New Jersey?
So, if you're coming to Rutgers, now I will discuss both. So, if you are in Newark campus and if you are a student, your rent might be, means student houses. I'm just talking about student houses. So, it would be around 600 to 800,
Hmm.
right? And means you can get a private room in 700, 800 as well. And
Hmm.
now it depends on the student, because some student prefers to share a room with another roommate. So in this thing, if you want to share a room, you can do that, but you can get a room between 600 to 800. Yes,
Hmm. That is a lot of money.
it is. Yeah. If the house is very old, if the
Hmm.
house is very old, you can also get it around 550 or 500. But that was my time. When
Yeah.
my time
Yeah.
means, it's not that I'm
No,
here from
I think 600, 800 is what I hear in the East Coast right now.
right,
Depends on the lifestyle as well. Like if you are preferring two
right,
people in your room versus kind of thing.
right.
So,
Depends on
uh,
lifestyle, but I'm just talking because as a perspective, as if a student is coming into the US, the types of houses he or she will have a look into, it would be around 600 to 800. It would fall between that.
yeah,
Yes.
and then so cost of living for you is that 600 to 800, then another assuming 300 to 400 for utilities and food and all of that. Would you agree, or
Correct.
was that more?
So it would if for if the rent is 600 basically, the utilities, now it can vary from house to house, right? But it can be around 70 to 80 dollars, because the utilities get shared again with all
Yeah,
your roommates within 4 or 5. So
yeah.
it might fall into 70 to 80 dollar 70 to 100 dollars. Why I'm saying that is because in winters we use heaters over here, right? So the utilities go a bit up because the heaters are on in the house,
Hmm.
something like that. So it was sometimes 90, 100 as well. It was sometimes 70, 65 as well, right? So
Hmm.
that is a flexible range. So yeah, that would take extra charge. Now when it comes to food, as you said, uh, there are two Indian stores in this area which are close by, right? And now it depends, means I would say that in a month I can get it 100 to $150
Yeah,
you would require for your groceries.
yeah,
Means I
yeah.
know a student while here listening to this would feel that $150 is so much, but eventually, you will start low, but yeah, 100 to 150 goes in your groceries, which is like
Um,
needed because
yeah.
you need to stay healthy.
Yeah, 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 100%. And then because it's a house, so apartment complexes usually comes with, water, electricity, everything set up. Sometimes you
Right.
have to set up separately, but in your case, did you have to set up like water, garbage, and electricity, and all of that?
No, I did not have to set up anything. It was already, means water, electricity already was there. But now when it is a good point which you asked. So for example, 600 would be the rent. Utilities would be around 70 to 100. Then your grocery or all of that would go around 100 or 150. Okay. Now the water and electricity bill, it depends. The bill comes quarterly, on a quarterly basis, it
Mm.
because it depends on the electricity company or something like that. But yeah, I
Mm.
did not have to set up anything, it was already there. But you
Interesting.
yes,
So
but
it
you
was not on your name?
what the
The
electricity.
electricity, or like none of your roommates like had this, so it was on the landlord's name.
It was now, so in my house it is on my landlord's name. Now it totally depends on house to house, but mostly in majority of the houses it would be on the landlord's name only.
Interesting.
You
Okay,
will just
got
have
it.
to pay because they would have the meter already running. Okay, so in on a quarterly basis they would receive a bill from PSEG. PSEG is a electricity company over here.
Yeah.
So and then on a quarterly basis they'll just send you the bills and you just need to pay them, something like that.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. So for people who are watching, California is completely different. You have to go set up the electricity, like PG&E is like he said PSG. In California, it's PG&E. So you will go, you will set up. One of you should have on your. It will have to be in one of your name. Internet will be also on your name. Water, garbage will also be on your name. So you have to do everything on your name. It's in a way good thing because you're building credit score and a credit
Yeah.
history, because that is happening. Yeah, I knew that East Coast and Boston is also a little different. Boston has a lot of apartment complex, so but anyway,
Yeah.
so that's good to know. Roommate wise, now like you're living this American life, did you have big boss drama?
So fortunately I was not in that, so my roommates were good. But they this I hear this from my friends and all, but yeah, the boys which I used to stay with, there was no drama. In the start you would feel something off or friction because obviously you don't know them, right? So we used to talk less or something like that, but month by month it all got better and
Mm,
the best.
yeah,
But yeah, in my house, no big boss drama. But yeah, that also happens because obviously you are coming into a house, you are going to stay with three or four people, and it depends because you like to stay clean. Sometimes your house won't be clean. You
yeah,
like your sink to be clean. You like all the utensils to be washed, and the other person is not how you are. So,
yeah.
but yes,
Yeah, yeah.
that's
The two major reason for fighting happens between the roommate is one is the cleanliness, kitchen cleanliness mainly, and the second one is the money, which is
correct.
like dividing the money because sometimes you own the electricity in California case, right? So now your responsibility is to collect from everybody because if nobody pays you, you still have to pay because it will go on your credit history, and so you have
Correct.
to collect that money, or someone steal your food and all of that drama will happen
Exactly.
like
All this one,
why,
yes.
yeah, why did you drink my milk, why did you drink my why did you
Yes,
eat my banana and all, all that will
yes,
happen.
yes,
So
yes.
it's very important to have good roommates, because they
True.
can actually break or make your entire master's
True.
experience. Let's talk about any culture shocks, like when you landed. Of course you landed in New York, and so you probably saw the skyline, so you're like, oh, this is exactly how Bollywood movie and Hollywood movie shows, but and then Jersey is also like a lot more like a Bollywood movie. So but any other culture shocks that you were like, I didn't like expect this, like, or like this is so new, anything like that?
So I landed in Newark. So obviously when I land, so my expectation was like, yes, the area is good. New York City is like so good. When I came to New York City, I was like, this vibe is the vibe which I want, in
Really, i
yeah, so
am i am opposite of the opinion. I
correct. So
hated New York City.
I know. So now there are again two sorts of people. One who would like the New York City vibe, one who would like the California and that
No,
particular,
no, no. I should say like I loved Hoboken, like the Jersey
oh, like
City.
that, like that.
Yeah,
Okay,
like
okay, okay.
because that feels more like Kandivli, Borivali, Andheri, and all of like I'm from Mumbai, so that's what it felt like.
Correct.
New York City, it just felt. I don't know. Maybe
Crowded.
I'm so used to California. It just felt so crowded. I could like I don't know why people are so fancy about the Times Square. I'm like I hated that place.
Yeah. Means
So
Times Square is like Times Square was a total off for me as well because
yeah,
all
yeah,
the
but
time
like people should visit Hoboken and the
right,
park over there. Like
right. So
that
the
is so beautiful. Yeah,
yes, the Hoboken, then you have Exchange Place and all of
yeah,
these places which are
yeah,
like literally opposite to your New York City skyline. So you have
Yeah.
good views, you have good places to sit. So yeah, it is a good
Yeah.
place.
Okay, let's talk about the campus life because a lot of universities in East Coast, especially in the New York, don't have campus. Like NYU, really, the entire
Correct.
New York City feels like a campus. Pace University is just one building. What about Rutgers? Does it have like a campus life?
So now, as I told in means as I discussed in the our earlier conversations, Rutgers is on in two places. One is New Brunswick, and the other
Hmm.
is Newark. Right. So the New Brunswick is the flagship campus,
Hmm.
right? So if your course is in New Brunswick, Rutgers, New Brunswick, you will get the entire university life. Means it has a huge
Hmm.
campus that from one campus to another campus you need to take a shuttle. It's that big. So you will experience all of that over there. But the place where I am staying, for example, Rutgers University, Newark, it does not have a university life, as you said. It means there is some infrastructure, but yeah, you won't get that experience.
So yeah. So and then but did you have the opportunities, like did the location kind of played a role in terms of networking and all of that, or you feel like didn't really play a big role?
Yeah, means the location might play a role because obviously it is close to New York City, right? So it's like from here it's like 20 minutes. If you take a path train, it's like 20 minutes to World Trade Center. So we are close to the New York City, which is like you have all the companies, tech companies, finance companies over there. So yeah, in terms of networking, it was good because uh, many companies from that particular area used to come to our universities, not for
Hmm.
hiring, but obviously uh, to show that they are open for student programs or something like that. So yeah, you can network well in this area.
Okay. Let's talk about curriculum because I'm very interested in this curriculum. Okay, so I have the masters of information technology, and so this is what you did. And also they have this different page, which let me share this one as well, which is also interesting. If I go to this page, 30 credit, so it was 30 credit in your case,
Yes, it was 30 credits, correct.
but
it
one
it
year
shows
it's
No, so it shows 1 year, but your master's program will be for 1.5 year. Okay,
okay.
so you can do it in 2 years as well, but your master's program would be 1.5 year.
Okay, nice. And yeah, it does say Newark campus, so that's good. And
Yes.
then I love that. Look at that. Is this true?
Yes, correct. But
Okay.
again, companies hiring our students. So I have to be very clear with all these students who are watching this, right? They are showing that the people are getting hired in these companies, but it's not. It won't be that every year, all means from your students group, everyone would go in those companies. Those companies
Yeah.
are from all the batches, right? The
Yeah.
students who were in all
And
the
and yeah, and the biggest clarification is there's no campus placements. This
there
doesn't
is no
mean that if you go to Rutgers, you will get to one of these companies.
correct,
These people actually have no relation to this company. They actually
correct.
worked hard to get the interview calls and get the job offer. But of course, they are going to leverage the students because they got the job in these
Yes.
companies.
So
Yeah.
every university means not even Rutgers, they are leveraging their students' achievements. But it is a very clear statement which I would like to give is there are no campus placement. Everything which you have to do for your internship full time, it has to be done by the student itself. You need to
Okay.
apply online, you need to network, and on the third, you need to go to those programs which university has.
Yes. All right, let's take a look at coursework. So 30 credits is what you need. Each credit looks like about 3 credits, so that's good. And then did they have like, did you have like, oh, so the foundation is the core courses that you have to take?
Yes, correct.
Okay,
So from these four courses, you need to take three compulsory. You need to complete it whenever you can. Okay.
got it.
So
Yeah.
found yes, and each course will have a credit of three. So you need to
Which one did
complete.
you take?
I took information security, I took business data management, and I took
Uh,
analytics for business intelligence. The first three.
uh, yeah, I would have skipped the data structure myself as well.
Yes.
And there is a concentration as well, but I'm assuming it doesn't mean that if you choose this concentration, you can't take courses from this.
No, it doesn't. You can take it from there as well.
Okay. So total must be 10 courses, 3
Right.
are compulsory, and then rest 7 are optional from these courses.
Right, but I would like to be more clear with this. Like in the operation research and business analytics, right? The linear programming, non-linear
Yeah.
programming. If you're coming for information technology and analytics, mostly it depends if those subjects would be available. It depends on that time, whenever in each
Hmm.
semester. So
Okay.
it is not assured that you would be able to take those courses. It depends on the management, it depends on the professors. But now again, if you go in data science and machine learning, yeah, then cybersecurity, so all these courses are available. Then again, in
Hmm.
elective courses also, all everything of this is available.
Nice. Okay.
And again, the internship is of zero credit. It does not have any credit if you do an
Hmm.
internship. But that doesn't mean that you will not do an internship, because internship is the one of the most important thing, right, during your
Right.
summers.
Yeah. 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 Nice. Okay. Great. We didn't talk about on-campus jobs, so let's talk about that. Did you have one on-campus
Yes,
job?
yes. So I had a on-campus job of the part-time lecturer in my
Hmm.
college.
Okay. I- Is that like a TA or is that TA is different?
No, so the TA is different. So basically, in our college, there were some positions for part-time lecturer wherein they give you that position and you go to the campus and you teach the bachelor students
Right.
some courses.
Okay.
So it
So,
was like a lecturer thing wherein if you are appointed for that job, you have to take the course for entire semester for that
hmm,
class. So
got it.
I had the entire class with me whom I used to teach them for the entire semester.
Got it. Was there any tuition fees waiver because of that or no?
No, there was no tuition fee waiver because of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the salary range for this position?
For this position, the salary range was $6,900, 6,999 for the
Wait,
entire semester.
really? Okay, that is interesting. So, and so it's not hourly, it's just like given to you that.
It's a offer letter, it's a contract that okay, for this semester, if you are, you know, if you're doing it for one semester, so you will get that offer letter and it will say that okay, this is your class, these you have 60 students or 50 students, this is your coursework, and then you have your entire course. uh
And you get paid bi-weekly?
yes, bi-weekly, correct.
Okay, got it. And how did you get it?
So basically, before coming to the US, every student would do that. Whichever university is going, they start searching for on-campus jobs from India or something like that. So I used to apply for all the on-campus jobs. I applied for this as well, but it had no positive response. When I came over here, I met some people who had done this job,
Hmm.
so they guided me for that. And they also helped me, that your give your resume and something like that, and so it was a networking thing. But yeah, they guided me on how to get it, and because of that I got that job.
Did you have to go through the interview process or was it pretty much like,
Yes, it was an interview
okay?
process which was around half an hour or something, wherein questions are asked to you and they try to gauge you that, how
Hmm.
would you be able to do. But again, the interview was not that, means not
Difficult. Yeah.
difficult. Yeah, it was just a normal interview wherein you are asked some questions and you need to answer them properly.
Hmm. Hmm. Got it. And so, obviously, this because of the I'm assuming this that because of this on-campus job, you were able to cover entire cost of
Yes,
living. Yeah,
yes. But
got it.
yeah, correct. But again, now as we are discussing this, this particular job is not really very accessible to every student. Means
Mm.
from my batch, it were only there were only 3 to 4 students who were doing this. So again, now there are other jobs as well, on campus jobs like TA, as you said. So if you are not, because if only 3 students are going to get, I want to also give information
Yeah,
about the other ones, right?
right.
So there are the on campus jobs wherein you can work in Starbucks. We have a Starbucks inside the college.
Mm.
So you can, and then you have TAs, which is teaching assistant. You have RAs, which are research assistant. You can work under a PhD, someone, something like that. Then you can become a grader. You can become a
Mm.
grader for some professor. You
Mm.
know, you can, so something like that. So all these jobs are also there. You can
Yeah,
also, or there are on-campus jobs. So uh, we have one center which is called PRCC, and in that center, there are gaming rooms, then there are
yeah.
various rooms wherein students come in and utilize those. So even students go over there, and even there the on-campus jobs are available. So just in case, if any
Yeah.
students, they are coming over here, they can try all of these things. But yeah,
Different options. Yeah.
it's
Would you
different.
say that everybody ends up getting an on-campus job?
No, I would not say that. So in my
Oh, okay.
batch, yeah,
Okay.
in my batch, almost everybody got the on campus job. But again, that was my batch, so I will be very honest. In some other next of my batches, there were some students who did not get the on campus job. But now again, it depends. If you are not getting it in the first semester, don't be disheartened. You will get it in the next semester. So it's not
Mm.
that your entire master's journey,
Masters.
you
Yeah.
won't have an on-campus job. You will have it. I'm just saying that once you come in the US, you always want the on-campus job as soon as possible. So if
Mm.
you don't get it in the initial days, obviously later you will get it, because you get experienced, right? In 2 months, in
Right.
3 months. There is
Yeah.
also police department, Rutgers University Police Department. Even those people hire the
Mm.
students, right? So there
Yeah.
are,
So sky is the limit. Just don't look for
yeah,
one specific
even if,
positions
yeah,
like.
because correct. So some people said that there are very less on-campus jobs, but then gradually I realized that there are less on-campus jobs, but there are, it is like 2 jobs in this department, 2 jobs in this department, 3 over there, 5 in, at the end it is summing up and you are getting on-campus jobs. So it
Yeah.
is like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So just keep
What
trying.
do you use? Is it a handshake? Like what's the
Yes.
portal do you guys
So
use?
it is a Rutgers.job portal is there, and Handshake is also there.
Okay, gotcha.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Okay. Nice. Well, let's talk about internships and co-ops. One, are you guys allowed to do co-ops?
Yes, we are allowed to do co-ops. So
Interesting.
uh,
Okay.
I will also discuss that. We need to do 10 courses, right? And
Hmm.
you can do it in 3 semesters or you can do it in 4 semesters. Majority of the students do it in 3 semesters.
Hmm.
And now it's on you how you divide the courses. You can take
Hmm.
3, 3, 4. You can take 4, 3, something like that. I took 4, 5, 1.
4, 5, 1.
Yes.
5 must be really horrible.
Yes, so 5 gets a bit hectic, but I took 4, 5, and 1, and in the last sem, it was only one subject, right? And
So
yes,
you were a part-time student.
yes, I was a part-time student, and I was doing a co-op as well.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So your co-op, but did the co-op counted as a credit or no?
No, so internship and co-op doesn't count as a credit.
Okay.
It has
So you
0
don't have to
credits,
pay
but
for it. Nice.
correct, correct. You don't have to pay for it, yes, because in some universities you need to pay when you
Yeah.
get internship.
Right.
But
Yeah.
yeah, but your internship gets registered in your transcript, even though it is 0 credits.
Nice. Okay. Great. Would you say everyone who goes to Rutgers ends up getting an internship?
No, I won't say that. Means, and now it depends. I am talking about my course.
Yeah,
In
yeah, of
Rutgers,
course.
there are
Yeah.
so many other courses.
Yeah, yeah. I'm talking your course as well. Would you what would you say percentage wise? Like 50% at least will get have gotten job in your case, like an internship.
Yes, yes. In my
50.
case, it was like more than 50%, to be honest. We had the hardworking students in
Nice.
our lot,
So
is what
have
I
you
thought of.
seen the batch after struggling?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
I saw the
Mm.
batch. That's why I said this question, because again, I would have said that it was 100%, but it was in my batch, right?
Okay.
It was,
And so the difference is the difference is just the that they are not strategic enough, or is it just market, or
it's
is it combination of all?
it's combination of all. It is strategy as well, but even the market,
Mm.
right?
Mm.
And when I came in, COVID had started settling down. So we had some friction, but we got with it. Again, now, if you see from last year, there were some layoffs and all of that. So that's why a batch after us, got hit by that. But again,
Mm.
that doesn't mean you can't score an internship. You can.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
But even in your case, you graduated in 2023, and that was the worst job market,
That
and
was
yet you
the,
still
yes.
got it.
That was like no one
So
was hiring everywhere. There were freezes. But yeah,
yeah, and for people who don't know, again, we shot the entire job hunting podcast, which is on
yes.
the channel. You should check it out. Link is in the description. And what about the full time job? Like, is that same percentage as internship, or is it different?
The full-time job would be more because of majority or all of the students secure a full-time job. So
Oh wow, okay,
yes,
that is interesting.
so it would be like, means I can't give you accurately, but if there are 100 people, at least 95 or 96 are getting a job. So,
Nice. Okay.
but
And
again, now in this, we are saying that you get a job, but we are not discussing the timeline. It depends. You can get a job when you're ending with your masters. Again, your friend might get a job after 2 months of your masters. Everyone's
mm,
timeline is different. But yes, you
mm,
will get a job eventually.
yeah, but none of it is because just the name of the Rutgers. Is that true?
It is definitely true. Yes.
Yeah.
None of it is because of Rutgers. I means even in my interview experience, I don't even remember any of the interviewer looking at my college's name. So
Yeah.
it is not the brand.
Yeah, yeah. Obviously, you've been working now for almost more than like a roughly more than a year, and you had co-op, you had on-campus job. So, with that 50 lakhs that you spent, do you feel like the ROI in your case, like you have recovered that money? If I don't know if you took the loan and were you able to repay, or were you able to recover that money?
Yes, I was able to recover that. I took the entire loan. I took 50 lakhs loan, the exact amount
Okay,
which was needed in the US. And
okay.
yes, so I recovered it in a year after my full time. Yeah.
So you have repaid your thing.
Yes, yes, yes.
Oh wow, that is amazing. That's huge. That's huge because now you have 2 more years, and then
Correct.
obviously H1B and all of that. So
Yes,
that'll be
yes.
amazing. That is exciting. The reason I asked that question is there are a lot of parents also who watches my video, and sometimes they are skeptical and
Right,
doubtful, like will our money be paid
right,
back? What if
right.
like we have to take care of this loan?
Correct,
Will 3 years of opt be enough if he doesn't get H1B to pay off this loan? So that's why I try to ask this, and
right.
usually in your case also it is pretty much possible to pay off at least within the 3 years of opt, which
Yes.
if you do the
Yes, I
STEM
would say
courses.
that means even if, so for my case was like I took the entire loan, right? It was like the master's fees is 50 lakhs. I'm saying that yes, you can repay it. If you get a job, you will repay it in 2 years, 1.5 years, or 2.5 years, or something like that. It depends on your own pace, but yes, don't worry about that.
Yeah, yeah. And other thing is like it also depends on the lifestyle. Like if you
Right.
graduate and buy a Tesla, then maybe
So
not.
basically, if we are not discussing lifestyle over here, but I stayed low key
Yeah,
during my college and also after I got a job. I always made a point that I had that in my it depends. It is an individual's choice, obviously, right? But it was that I need to do this first. and then we can think
Mm.
something
Yeah,
else.
nice. Now that you have done it, you are graduated, you're working. Would you recommend Rutgers? I mean, I know you're probably gonna say yes, but like, if you were to go back in time, would you choose Rutger again?
uh you can get, means obviously, if I go back to time, I would choose Rutgers again, yes. I'm not
Mm.
saying that the coursework is good, but again, I'm not saying only because of the course, because of what I have got in this locality. Means,
Mm.
I got the internship in New York City, I got my full-time job over there or something like that. That is the reason. But again, I'm not saying that Rutgers is the best. You can get more better college than Rutgers as well.
Okay.
Yes.
What's the one tip of like? What's the one tip or advice would you give to aspiring study abroad students?
Aspiring study abroad students, one tip, one piece of advice I would give is that, it's not only the study abroad which you are going to do, it is your future life which you're going to set up. So plan accordingly for that.
Love it. Nice. Again, thank you so much. This was fun. I know we covered a lot. Hopefully, this is like a masterclass for anyone who's watching and planning to come to Rutgers. But I can't wait to bring you back until our next one.
Keep smiling, keep hustling.